boys.
It's the BOYSCAST.
The lads.
It's the BOYSCAST.
The dudes.
Prepare yourself for BOYSCAST.
The bros.
It's the BOYSCAST.
The homies.
It's the BOYSCAST.
The dudes.
Experience
The BOYSCAST.
Stelter's at your girl's door, kid, and she let him in. Staying inside. Brian Stelter. Of your girl's vagina. Brian Stelter. And he's breaking hymen. Brian Stelter. Hose like a fireman. Brian Stelter. Yeah. R.I.P. to the GOAT, one of the greats in journalism. This is a big loss for the world. This is a big loss for podcasting. This is a big loss for broadcasting. I'm personally signed up for CNN Plus. And I was loving all of the things that they were doing.
The Rex Chapman show.
Does Rex Chapman have a CNN Plus show?
He had one for 4 minutes, like everybody else.
Yeah. Well, I was looking forward to Brian Stelter's behind the scenes content. I thought they were going to I was going to like to see what the home life looked like.
I wanted to see what his makeup looked like.
I wanted to see the makeup. I wanted to see the hair care routine. I wanted to see the bald shining routine.
Yeah.
So
they did him dirty too. Don Lemon didn't even get him a cake.
Really?
Yeah, they did him real dirty. He was expecting a big send off, and they just go, "You have 30 minutes to pack up your shit."
How do you know that?
It was in the thing.
Why?
I saw it on fucking Twitter. Like,
why was it on Twitter that they gave him 30 minutes to pack his shit?
No, that's a joke. They didn't give him 30 minutes to pack his shit. But I guess he was expecting some big party.
And he wrote that? He
didn't write it, but there's like this rumor, I guess, going around where he was upset.
Who's the rumor?
Leaks. Reliable sources, dog. Unreliable sources. I got people in the inside.
You have a scoop on a leak that says Brian Stelter was happy that he didn't get a cake?
He was. He was expecting some big party, some big send-off, and he got the fucking Cuomo treatment.
Danny's got a fucking inside reliable.
You just have to eat the sausage.
Rumor has it that Stelter was unhappy that Don Lemon.
Over here at Danny's rumor mill.
This is 100% Danny's rumor mill. Did you hear the news? Stel's not happy, dude.
Stel's not happy, dog.
What happened? Fucking you didn't hear? Fucking Lemon didn't get him shit, dude. You just gave him a sign out. Get out.
Don Lemon's a snake, dude. Fucking does Cuomo dirty, does Stelter dirty.
Yeah, first
these are supposed to be his best friends.
And then he doesn't even get him a cake. Yeah.
Doesn't even get him a cake. For a man who clearly wants a cake.
Exactly, a lemon cake.
Yeah,
that could have been a funny little bit for the end. The fact that they didn't throw him a party with like hookers, blow the whole thing after everything Stelt's done for that organization. You know what they honestly could have done, and it wouldn't even have been that expensive, was fly all of his viewers out.
Well, you think he's gonna be like his future's a cruise, Stelter cruise, like where everyone's like you're just hanging out with Stelter on a cruise ship.
I do think that is the kind of thing he might be.
He might do that.
No,
too.
he probably lands somewhere weird, but.
Yeah,
he like lands.
He'll go to MSNBC.
Yeah,
he's gonna go further left.
Yeah,
like if we think we saw the craziest element of him, you're like, no, it's
more.
Baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet.
Or it's he has even more reliable sources.
Reliabler sources.
Yeah. So that's his sources. But Danny has the inside scoop. So that's why people tune in, because Danny's he's got his ear to the pulse. He knows the things.
Yeah,
he knows what Lamont's saying. Danny, you know what was interesting though? You were happy with Danny's source. What you won't be happy with is Danny joined he took a part-time job at the IRS as one of the new 187,000 agents.
That's the thing. They didn't even check to see if I was American. They just go, "Yo, we're taking anybody right now. Are you willing to shoot your fellow man over over a wrong expense dinner?" I go,
Did
"Absolutely."
You see where they were training the IRS agents with guns?
Yes,
dude. If you have, that's so funny. The idea of an IRS agent busting down the door. You owe us $50.
Yeah.
Someone made a pretty good point about this. That it was like, okay, because they always like. Obviously, the thing for all of this is they have to everything they do that kind of just like hurts regular people. They always kind of do the Bernie Sanders, like, we promise you this is only going to be bad for one billionaire.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? There's like, no, all 187 agents are just bad for like one billionaire. We promise you. Mm-hmm. But you go,
yeah, we needed to enforce all the billionaires. They have so many resources that we need this. This is just our billionaire task unit.
It's a billionaire task. They kind of make it sound like all this stuff. Every time they have new things, they were like, yo, honestly, even if you make like 600 grand, this isn't even going to graze you.
Yeah.
This is 187,000 agents that are all kind of on, but which if I get audited because of this, I'll tell you what, that'll like completely turn me.
Yeah, we'll go back to Canada.
No, I'll just be like, I'll be fucking yelling on 4chan.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, if they really start
I'll be
coming after like the
radicalized.
Venmo stuff, where they go, "What's you have to explain all your Venmo transactions?"
I claim all that. You don't claim it?
I mean, I claim it, but I don't know. I
don't know what else. But if I get audited, I swear to God, I'll go. That will be like my complete radical.
Like I just sold like I'm moving, and I sold like whoever's moving to my place. I sold all my stuff to them. I'm like, I'm not claiming that. Yeah, like I'm not claiming that, but it was more than $600.
You're right. You made more than $60 on your stuff.
I sold all my possessions.
That's a good.
And it was like for slightly more than $600.
Okay,
I got $1,000 for everything I own. Because I'm moving in with my girlfriend.
That's better than you. I just like throw all my shit away.
I was going to throw my dude. It was honestly one of the biggest wins of the last 12 months for me. I was going to throw. Yeah. I hope these girls are not watching. These two girls are moving into my place.
These rubes.
And these rubes. I was going to throw out all my shit straight up just to the curb.
And then you said.
And then I texted my like landlord dude or whatever. I go, hey, can you get me their info just to see if they want any of my stuff? And then they texted me and I was like, hey,
what do you
I'm
have?
like, do you want anything? And they go, yeah, we want everything. I go, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah, what do you have? Like butt plugs?
Yeah, butt plugs.
You said you want everything.
Yeah, you want everything. I'm just gonna leave it all for you. Dude, it's a giant win for me.
That is a huge win, dude. Well, anyways, the point was that because they say that it's all hurt every billionaires or whatever, but it's like that billionaires don't make mistakes on their taxes really because it's like these are all
they don't do their taxes.
Well, but not only do they not do their taxes, it's like an insanely large like accounting firm that does their taxes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know what the name of a big accounting firm is. Do you
PricewaterhouseCoopers? I don't know.
Yeah, like PricewaterhouseCoopers, not like screwing up a billionaire's taxes.
Arthur Anderson's the Enron one. Are they still around?
But that's what I mean. If one of those big firms like screwed up someone's taxes,
it's their fault though.
Not only is it their fault, it would be like super bad for business. Like how many billionaires are there? I'm sure they talk where they'd be like, yeah, I got audited and I had to do and like I had to pay all this money because fucking
for sure.
Pricewater, as you say, screwed it up.
Yeah, no. They make sure that nothing gets screwed up. Yeah, like billionaires this is not affecting them. I don't think billionaires are cheating their taxes. Not like in these ticky-tack ways that they need IRS with guns for.
Yeah,
they're coming for small businesses. This is like small business enforcement. Like, dude, how many?
They're definitely going to pass.
How many bodegas do you go to? Like the bodega I go to all the time, not going to rat them out. It's somewhere in New York City, but I go to it all the time. And then they literally, you buy something and they hit the no sale button.
Okay.
Right, and then they take your money, but they specifically hit the no sale, open the till button.
I mean, those cash registers aren't collecting anything anyway.
What?
Those cash registers aren't like collecting information, are they?
Yeah, that's the whole point of a cash register. Is you have
those old school ones.
They
just
have
do
all
the receipts.
That's what
I mean,
is.
you could just throw out the receipt, and that's the end of the story too, though.
Yeah, until you get audited, and they go, "Yo, where's your receipts?"
Are they numbered?
Yeah, they have all the date and time and everything. Dude, I had a friend when I used to live in Guelph. This is so long ago that doesn't even matter. But they ran these like clothing stores, these like kind of sketchy clothing stores, and they were also my landlord.
Well, how is it sketchy?
They would like buy all this like shoot like these like crappy clothes and they would rebrand them.
Mikey instead of Nike sort of thing?
No.
Adidas with two
stripes?
No,
but like I would see their clothes. Like they would have a shirt that was like $90 and you'd go to H&M and it was the exact same shirt with the H&M tag on it and it was like $25. Like they would like, I guess it's a thing that happens.
Factory and essentially they get the off-prints.
Exactly. But so anyways,
that's the oldest trick in the book with all those Chinese places is that's one of the big things they do is they're like, oh, we'll make all the H&M stuff. Like crank a couple of extras.
Yeah, we'll fucking relabel a couple things for you. But anyways, they got audited, and while I was like knew them, and they had to go through this whole thing of just printing years of receipts, like making them up because they didn't have any.
Because what else are you gonna do? Yeah,
and they were like those receipts where it's on just like the ribbon shit, so it's not really like you'd be like, yeah, this is print. See, it says the time and date, but you're like, yeah, you just did that now.
How do you know?
Yeah, so.
What a nightmare.
Anyways, but this is small business enforcement. They're trying to get theirs. They don't like that they're.
Well, that's me.
Yeah, that's.
Which is why I'm telling you, I'm being radicalized.
Radicalized, real radicalized.
Realize. That's the one, right?
Yeah, realize.
Didn't Joe from the corner have that on his shirt or something?
Probably.
Real eyes, realize, real lies. Yeah. That's the. Oh my God, that's better than philosophy of hypocrisy.
That is way better.
That's the old.
radicalize.
That's Danny after
radicalize.
Realize, real lies, and radicalize.
Yeah. No, that'd be fucked up though. If it's just like all our friends start getting audited, like just
That's exactly what's going to happen. What else are they going to do?
Yeah.
They're going to bust down the comedy club with a gun. They're going to be busting down the podcast studio and be like, "Where's the you expensed 8 memory cards and there's only 6."
You think they're gonna bust?
Where are the cards?
Are there gonna be any like videos online from the stand-ups where it goes like a comedian destroys IRS agent because they think it's a heckler? He comes in, he goes, "All right, this show's over." He goes, "Here we go."
How long you go? How long you been an IRS agent for? He goes, "I don't know, 6. You don't know?
Oh, he doesn't know. I bet you don't know what your wife does for a job.
Okay, how much do you make for a living? I don't know.
Oh, sounds like you need to audit yourself.
He's like, you need to audit your speech patterns, pal. Comedian destroys IRS agent.
That's good shit.
Jeez. Well, speaking of jobs, it's sort of in the news because like that video that me and you did. That's like total equality for all.
Yeah.
It keeps going viral.
I saw it, yeah.
Over platforms, it has like over 10 million views or something like that, maybe more.
I saw the short went crazy.
Yeah, they all just keep going crazy,
Yeah.
right? So, and I think...
You think it's like some Andrew Tate runoff?
Oh, yeah.
Like we're getting the runoff where people go, yeah, wait a minute.
No, no. It's more Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
So Jordan Peterson... No. It's gone viral like on Facebook like once a fucking every 6 months. Like,
okay.
You know what I mean? For the last 2 years or whatever. But it's Jordan Peterson basically... he's doing like publicity materials for the Daily Wire. And some of the materials are very like... It's like a video of a guy doing like a really hard job. And he was like... You think we don't need men? Like, what are we? And but he's very somber in it, right? He's like,
right, yeah. He's
what are we
almost
gonna do
crying.
without men?
Oh, what are we gonna do? See, I just don't know that.
This is the biggest.
I'm not an impressions guy. We had this conversation last night.
No, you should have seen Danny yesterday because we were saying. No, it's he said this guy's out of control.
Sometimes I can get it. Sometimes I
no,
can't.
he thinks he's too hip for anything.
I don't think I'm too hip.
You do, man. You think
I
you're
don't
tragically
think I'm too hip.
You do, because we were talking about it, and I was like, impressions, and saying Danny our buddy was saying Danny does the good Jordan Peterson, and I was like, yeah, but he won't do it anymore. And he goes, I don't know, I'm not trying to be like some impression guy. And I was like, yeah, but it was funny, and it was a good impression. He was like, he's like above that.
I'm not above it. I can't conjure it in that sense. Like I can. Sometimes it comes to me, and sometimes it's just like it's in the
when
ether.
The inspiration comes to
it's
me,
in the ether. I mean, I just tried to do it. I didn't try and half-ass
I
it.
think you are. I think you're
No,
like,
I'm not. I'm telling you, I'm not.
because you think you're like
Like I can do it. Like I can do it if I'm one of his catchphrases. Like that, I can do it. Like,
you see yourself as like some intellectual.
No, see, I can
that's
do, like-
higher than impressionists.
No, not at all. Like I can do.
That's what you were saying yesterday.
Yeah, it's like I'm above impressions.
You're smoking like a long cigarette, and you go,
No, it's a pipe.
won't be doing that again.
Yeah, I won't be doing that again. But no, sometimes I got it, sometimes I don't.
Well, anyways, that's been happening, and then someone sent
Fool's gold.
That's his fool's gold a little bit. So that's been happening, and then so someone sent me like one of the most interesting things in the world because they basically some people were posting some of the craziest jobs in the world, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the one clip that went viral, but I think it was in Jordan Peterson's thing. But basically what's happening is it's these guys and they're like cement workers.
Yeah.
And they're covered in cement, which is, I don't even like know if it dries on them or how it works.
Yeah.
Right? So they're essentially, I don't know, this thing's fucking getting me.
Mannequins getting in you?
Yeah, they're covered in cement, and they're basically pulling up this big. There's like a cement thing that, like I guess, churns the cement or whatever.
Yeah, the mixer.
Yeah, but like there's something to do with the mixer. But
Yeah, I know they have the mixer, the truck.
I guess it's the thing that like gets the cement to the truck.
Okay.
I think that's
Well,
probably
no,
what it is.
it gets mixed in the truck. Do you ever see the trucks and they're moving like this?
So these guys
it's
are doing
mixing,
something with
and so it's
cement.
constantly moving so it doesn't set.
Maybe
and
they're
then-
cement testers. I don't
Okay,
know.
okay.
I think they might be cement mix testers.
Oh, okay. So they do that thing where they put their finger in the cement and they go,
Yeah, exactly, right?
Pure.
Yeah, they
Pure cement right
they
there.
wipe it on their gums.
yeah, they go, that's pure shit.
Well, there's a bunch of these guys, and they were kind of posting all these jobs. So I have a list of jobs that's from. So it goes from a percentage of U.S. workers by male by sector, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a diagonal line that shows all the jobs. So I'll just list off the ones that are most women and most male. So
Okay.
so the girl jobs, so which is like 85. No, so it's like only 2.3% of kindergarten teachers are men, right?
yeah. Any of them straight?
I think that most kindergarten male teachers probably are gay, right?
Right, yeah.
Or worse.
More worse. Yeah. You're very suspicious for us.
It's the most suspicious job.
The only way you could be straight actually is if you're super religious. Like a super Christian, you could maybe be.
Yeah,
like,
you think that makes?
Yeah, but in that world, you're not.
The only thing that would make it less suspicious if you're like, I don't know, a Catholic priest, for example.
I think the radar's not up though. Like if you're in a very like strict religious thing, and then.
But why are you doing kindergarten instead of grade 3? Even if you're a like super Christian, as you say, why would that help?
Love the kids.
Okay, sure.
You wanna get to them early.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I've never seen a male kindergarten teacher.
Well, that's my solution.
I don't even think I've ever seen a male gay kindergarten teacher.
I had some, yeah.
Yeah, that explains.
There was one
things.
kicking around in my school, Mr. Bro. I've said this before, but he used to
was Mr.
close his
Bro?
eyes in class, and it was really creepy.
His name was Mr. Bro,
His name was Mr.
but
Bro.
French.
I don't know. No,
Not like
he was like an old, like bald, like fat bald guy.
Oh, okay.
Which is like, yeah, exactly. Like, why did you decide you want to teach?
Like,
grade
is
one?
he a relic from another era where he goes, yeah, back in my day that was normal, and then now like it kind
It
of
was never normal.
Yeah.
It's probably less normal back
Yeah,
then.
probably.
The only thing I will say is maybe if they get paid the same, you're like, this one's easier. But it's maybe not easier.
No,
'cause
that's
kids
not
are
easy.
annoying.
Kids are nightmares.
Maybe you can be stupider. You're like, I don't have to do anything. Like marking kindergarten's papers, for example, maybe is easier.
Yeah, you just it's just a handprint, and you just go, that's a good handprint.
That's the only thing I could think of is if you're just trying to fuck the dog, not fuck the kid.
Let's hope you're just fucking the dog and nothing else.
So kindergarten teacher is 2%. So my theory is I think they just need to. The only way that they can solve this is every male teacher and coach for little kids, unless your kid's on the team, is reluctant. You know what I mean? Like someone, for example, let's say you want to be a grade 8 teacher. They say, hey, you have to teach grade 2 for a few years first. So every teacher that's teaching like grade 1 doesn't really want to be
Right.
there.
You start
every
you
male.
straight up. You start at the bottom and you work your way up.
Exactly.
And you get paid more for high school and less for kindergarten is entry level.
And then if they do their 3-year tenure and they're like, no, I actually want to stay, you go, you're fired.
Yeah, you're out of here.
Because it's, you want the guy that shows up to be like, I don't really want to teach grade 1, but I will.
Yeah, I got
that's the attitude we need.
Yeah, exactly.
The show that's like, where are the kids? When can I start?
You're the guy on the construction site who goes, you just sweep and get us coffee and work your way up to.
That's the only person that probably male-wise should be able to teach kindergarten. So that's that. Dental hygienist.
Yeah.
Which
had a
that's
male-
the second most.
Yeah, I had a male dental hygienist, and I thought it was right before I moved from Toronto.
Are you trans or something? Yeah, what's
He
going
was
on
gay.
here?
No, he was gay, obviously, but I was
gay
still
guys, yeah.
very suspicious.
You're right. That's a good point. That of these small percentages, it's gay guys.
Yeah, and I remember they gave me the option. They go, oh no, sorry. They said, hey, we have the option. Do you want the guy or the girl? And I was like, girl, obviously. Yeah, for sure.
Except you did say for a masseuse, you'd rather a guy.
Guy, 100% for a masseuse because there's no power strength involved in hygienists.
So dental hygienists, secretaries, male secretaries, tough. I feel like if I knew a dude that was a dental hygienist, that wouldn't like strike me as like
Executive
crazy.
assistant.
But like a secretary, if you go, hey, just have a word with my secretary, and it's like a guy, like that's a tough to be.
Although, yeah, the getting
Male
slapped on
secretary
the
is
ass
tough.
by the CEO would be extra demeaning when you're just like a straight dude.
And more like allowable too.
Yeah.
You're probably the only
Attaboy.
secretary that, yeah, exactly.
Attaboy.
Because you can't slap the girls on the ass, but you probably can give a little tap to your male secretary.
Yeah, the way you were answering those phones,
Yeah, good shit, buddy.
I know, good shit, pal.
But that's tough. Like, on the dating market, for example, if like you're on Tinder and it's like you're a man and you're like a male, 5'10", 34 years old, secretary.
Oh, you definitely are. You're churching that
You're
up.
searching that right up.
That's executive assistant.
Executive.
That's not a. There is. I don't think anybody's really goes by secretary anymore.
Maybe not.
They got rid of it.
I don't think. I think you're wrong. I
term.
bet you like some small office in the middle of nowhere.
They're not up on all the new stuff, and they still just call it the secretary.
Male secretary. Yeah, but there's no.
But I
men doing
bet
that
if
job
you go
in
on
that
like
area.
LinkedIn in New York City and you type secretary, nothing comes up. It's just they call it executive assistant. Now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Speech therapist. Interesting, right?
My ex-girlfriend was one.
What?
Yeah, she was a speech therapist. Yeah, that's a chick job.
Why is that a chick job?
That I don't know, because I don't know why you're more like.
Because guys aren't worried about getting the fucking right syllables.
Yeah,
you
they
speak
don't-
like a.
I don't know why. I'm sure there are. What's the percentage of
Is that
women
like
on
a girl thing to do, to be like, it's actually pronounced? Do you mean,
Yeah, be like correcting asshole.
you go, do you mean, can you go to the bathroom? Yeah, I mean, you can go to the bathroom. May you go to the bathroom?
I mean, there's a big overlap there with the kindergarten teachers too, because that seems like a kindergarten.
So is that-
what's the percentage for that?
Like speech therapist is sort of like professional nag, right?
No, speech
it's
therapist,
to get rid of
like
stutters and stuff like that.
and if you just you can't.
I have no idea. Joe Biden went to a speech therapist famously, right?
A chick, for
but
sure.
I have no idea why that one's so much of a chick job.
I don't know. That's a good question. It's maybe
dental
just one of those
assistants.
things of women are more nurturing, and that just falls into that it's nursing. It's mouth nursing.
Mouth nurse.
It's a so dental hygienist, mouth nurse.
Two of the top 5 chick jobs are girls love teeth, right?
They love teeth, yeah. They love mouths.
There's 2 options. Girls love teeth, or dentists are dogs.
Dentists are dogs.
Like, you know what I mean? They gotta have because it is very common that dentists have almost a harem of hot chicks around them.
In terms of the employees. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And dentists all low-key think they're cool. They all kind of I remember I've had multiple
just hanging out with a lot of
dentists
dentists.
that brought up to me that they play guitar.
Oh.
That is such a dentist characteristic.
My girlfriend's family is all dentists.
And do they play guitar?
No.
Interesting.
No guitars.
A lot of dentists in the family, eh? Well, they maybe aren't a cool dentist because they're. But
They're cool.
Do you think that's why the dentists all kill themselves, because they're surrounded by these squawking hens?
That is probably the best explanation for it I've ever heard. Is you just see them all plotting in the break room. You go, what are these up to? There's a mutiny on our hands, and the only way out is suicide.
But if you're a dentist, every single other job other than you is a girl.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Is that possible?
I'm honestly my back home, my dentist that I went to as a kid was legit. There was 2 dudes and 30 women.
Okay.
Yeah.
Receptionist, child care worker, same thing. Nurses, dietitians. That's hairdressers, payroll, health records. So these are all the girl jobs. That's the top girls, and that's all the ones I went. Occupational therapists, health aides, bookkeepers. So that went up to 11%.
Okay.
So all those jobs are still 90% women. Yeah, not even close. You know what I mean? And then in the middle, so around 50%, you have jobs like purchasing managers, guides. So I guess that's like a tour guide or something like that.
Okay.
Advertising's kind of a little skews male. Retail is 50-50. Probably but that's because it depends on what retail. If you go gun sales, it's probably men, and if you go
sporting goods, is
so they're just including
everything.
Yeah, exactly. So probably a lot of these middle ones is, if you actually went into it, there was different ones. Ushers, 50% each.
Is bodega owners on there?
Weighers, measurers, and checkers. I guess that's
Weighers,
I guess I don't know what they mean, but maybe
a bulk barn.
Yeah.
Checking out.
I think what that actually means is probably you work in a factory type setting. You know what I mean?
Maybe
you're weighing the shipments.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe, but you're not actually the one putting it on. You're just the one jotting it down.
Yeah.
So that's meant.
Right.
Other financial specialists, editors, and reporters. Okay, so these are all in the middle. You start to get up to men when you get to machine operators, engineers, law enforcement, right?
Yeah.
Dentists. And then at the very top, these are the jobs that no woman will ever dare touch.
We wouldn't allow it even if you wanted to.
The jobs where we're at, 95 to 99%, there are tons of them in that.
Yeah.
Construction works 95%, and we're still
but
that's close to the top. There's still 40 more jobs.
Yeah.
Drywall, construction, 98%.
What about female roofing
Drywall
companies?
is 98%. Well, female roofing companies are they might actually tip the scale.
Yeah, they might have actually done some damage with that roofing
5
company.
female drywall actually makes a pretty big dent in this statistic.
Probably.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hammer operators, cufflump. Definitely.
What's a
me and the
hammer
fellas
operator?
are hammer operators.
I don't never heard that.
You catch me on a Friday night after I have a couple drinks, they call me a hammer operator.
Hammer operator.
Mining occupations, 99% men.
Yeah, that one makes sense.
Well, of course they make sense, but it's funny.
I'm what would even a chick do at a mining camp?
No, but it's just it's a funny thing when it's to kind of picture these jobs when it starts talking about, it's obviously you're just when you were like, hey, we want equality in the workplace, what you mean is
Do you think there's any rogue?
We want to be CEOs.
Do you think there's any rogue guidance counselors out there, dudes who are like girls coming? He goes like, just really trying to direct them into this stuff.
Never, probably.
Yeah, he goes, you should be like a minor.
Oh,
pays great.
Yeah, but like they probably. You'd think that if you were like a guidance counselor, to some degree, you do have to give guys and girls the same advice like nowadays, right?
I don't know. Yeah, do guidance counselors still exist?
Very good friend of the pod, who I will not mention by name, is going to college right now.
Yeah.
And he said that I won't air him out. But he said that he had to do like already multiples of sex, like assault seminars, like in orientation. And in the bathrooms, they got rid of urinals in the men's bathrooms, and they have tampon dispensers.
There's no urinals in the men's bathroom? What are you supposed to shit in when you got to go quick?
But like, it makes no sense because okay, if you want to be like, hey, we're gonna put tampons in for what, whatever, right? You go, if you're gonna have people that don't have vaginas in the men's bathroom, then sure. But urinals, like, why would you get rid of them? Like, is it triggering to them?
I guess,
like, what's even the reason for that?
Well, they're trying to go just full gender neutral, and that's such a gendered thing.
But they still have gendered bathrooms.
Oh, they still have. Oh,
it's gendered
different.
bathrooms.
They're trying to punish men. Because that's the thing. You ever go to like a sporting event, the women's line's super long for the bathroom, men's line, and the reason the men's line goes quick is because we got the urinals. This is just punishment.
Yeah, but also
straight
men take
punishment.
just quicker to do everything. Like,
That's true.
Like, I'm sure there's 4 things that contribute to that. One of them is girls probably look in the mirror longer after.
Dawdling,
and like,
yeah, a lot of puttering, a lot
of dawdling, a lot of puttering. They sit down to pee and they probably dick around on their phone a little bit. There's probably just a lot of dawdling going on. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Other mining occupations, carpenters, like some of these jobs where you're just like, it's not that physically, like, it's a hard job, but it's not even that physically demanding. It's just undesirable for a woman. Like auto mechanic, 99% like women. It's like auto mechanics is a lot of like fat old guys that aren't in shape. It's not like this crazy physical job.
There is some physical elements, but nothing insanely physical.
No, there's
like,
no.
You could change tires if you're like a reasonably fit
There's
woman.
a lot of mechanics that are like strong dudes, but there's a lot of mechanics that are like a fat 70-year-old.
Yeah, it's like I feel like a lot of it is really just you're putting a puzzle together a lot of times.
Right, but my point is, so there's no reason other than like girls don't want to do this.
Yeah, they get dirty. It's a dirty job.
It's a dirty job.
What specifically jobs that leave you filthy at the end of the day does a woman want to do? Like, dude, imagine you see some chick, you go and she has fucking like those, the mechanic hands.
Yeah.
Where they're just dirty all the time. They're just black always.
Yeah,
it's
and
a tough look.
One clean finger because she fingered herself.
It's my finger right here. Yeah, it's like girls don't want to do that.
No, of course. Automobile mechanics. I'll just do a few more. Elevator repairs. So we're up to 99 and then 99.8.
Oof.
So that means out of every 1,000, 2 women.
Yeah.
So think about that. If you added 5 women, it like would drastically change the stat. Like, why don't they have like an all-female Boilermakers? What's a Boilermaker?
I don't even know.
That's
I know the drink.
There's probably some people
they make boilers.
Yeah, they make boilers.
Okay.
But like, so if you had an all-female team of Boilermakers, it legitimately would change the stat drastically.
Yeah. Women could do a lot of damage to these
Drillers of the Earth, 99.6. 4 out of every 1,000 Earth drillers is women. Concrete and cement workers, that's the job that I saw. Drillers and oil well, roofers and slaters. Bus, truck, and stationary mechanics, 99%.
Yeah.
So it's it's kind of interesting to see those stats, eh?
Yeah. I mean, well, part of it is what, guys like Jordan Peterson have just been saying, where you go like, look, the super liberal feminists just want to ignore, where you go like, people just gravitate towards certain things.
Of course.
And it's like there are laws of nature. That just this happens.
No, there's not.
This isn't all just like gendered fucking your kids up when they're a kid, and then they make them be like, "Oh, had such a fucked up childhood that I want to be a large engine mechanic."
Well, that's why it's sometimes when people are having these conversations where they say, there should be the same men and women in every job. You just go, grow up.
Yeah, exactly. It's fantasy land. You're living in fantasy land.
Grow up.
Yeah, agreed.
Grow up and watch She-Hulk. So. There's this girl.
Part of me wants to watch it. Have you seen any of it?
No, and you know what? Here's the thing. with She-Hulk, I'm not gonna watch that, and I'm not. To be honest, I'm sure it's a hunk of shit, but like I'm not prepared to go watch that and then give a bad review of that. I don't.
Yeah, I don't really hate watch anything.
I'm sure. Yeah,
Like I'm not hate watching a series.
It sounds like it's for girls, but I wouldn't
watch regular Hulk either. So I'm like,
I'd watch Hulk.
Oh, I haven't seen the Hulk movies or anything.
I might. If Hulk, this is a series, I think if it was a movie, like I could get suckered into watching that. But here's the thing because here's this person that was like a big Twitter person, kind of went viral saying, like, my point was me kind of coming out here and being like, did a review of She-Hulk. Turns out I didn't like it.
Yeah, of course.
Like, oh yeah,
yeah. You don't say.
Right, of course. You know what I mean? So
nothing really to add to the discourse.
Yeah, it's like the only thing you can do is comment on the overall thing, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, yes, I'm not going to watch Dear White People and come and say like, did a review of Dear White People, didn't like it.
2 thumbs down.
Yeah, right? Duh, it's not for me, right? But the thing around it that I do have a comment on is, so this person went viral going, She-Hulk has one conversation about how women have to control our anger or fear when we get catcalled or followed so we don't get assaulted or murdered by men, and people are calling it woke. You all wouldn't last one day as a woman. So this person's saying, this is how fragile guys are, right?
Yeah.
And you go, this is the thing. If you took one look at the promotional materials, this is what these people are. I think Hollywood needs to. If I was running Hollywood,
Yeah.
I would.
You have the wrong religion. I could.
No, but I would. This is such an easy fix. Okay, so this stuff of like feminism in your face stuff started when? 2015, would you say? Like when it really popped off?
It really went like
right, leading up to
Trump
2015.
Era. Yeah.
We are now almost 7 years away from that, correct?
Yep.
So, or 7, whatever, depending on what you want to put that inflection point as. So my point is, they're 7 years later doing marketing materials that are like, take that men.
Yes.
This is their trailers. This is their publicity team is, reaching out to girl magazines, kind of saying, it'd be the equivalent of if I did my special and the only thing I did was, it's like, up yours woke culture. You know what I mean?
You triggered
it would be like
for an hour.
Making a special now called exactly, right?
For an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
So
this though, I imagine because this is such a huge production, like they probably started writing this when there was like the height of Trump derangement.
Huge point.
2017.
So Hollywood
probably.
is always 4 or 5 years behind. You know what I mean? So that's why it's
structurally, it takes time to do this.
Structurally, they are always but when you do marketing materials like that, and your whole material is like, yeah, man, that's right, you're not going to like it, right? And you go, so no, like this idea that they have a hot take of like, it's hard for women to walk home alone at night, right? You go, everyone's heard that. Everyone's been hearing that for the last 7 years. This is not new information, right? No. So, and no one's reading that. Very few people are reading that and being like, duh, what you're reading that and being like, yeah, that's that again.
Yes.
Oh, you're one of those. But what these people need to get better at, and I think would fix their whole thing, is they accuse like people like Trump of dog whistling.
Yeah.
Learn to dog whistle, morons. Like that is
be more subtle.
These people are on board. You go, hey, we have a thing that's a girl Hulk. Everyone that's a feminist is on board with that. Do you know what I mean? If you're a feminist, you're like, oh, girl Hulk. Like you don't need. I can't imagine why alienate the fucking boyfriends that have to go watch it. Like there are so many people right now that their girlfriend probably would watch She-Hulk when she wouldn't normally, right?
Right, yeah.
So you go to them, like give them a wink and a nod that like, this is kind of for you. And then for the guys, give them a wink and a nod and be like, but it's still like an action film.
Here's a skimpy bikini.
Yes,
stuff like that.
Yeah, like,
I mean, but
you don't need
is all these issues though. This kind of stuff, the comic book stuff, like, dude, when you were a kid,
dog whistle.
Yeah, but how many kids at your school were women into comic book stuff?
Okay,
0. It's just like these are all guys who are having this now like forced being like, hey, we need more of this, and like it's just like similar to the sports stuff where you go like, oh, we need to tailor to women. You're like, women don't watch this.
Yeah,
like women aren't into Hulk. I've never met a woman. I've met one woman in my life who was really into like comics.
But my point is, I think what may be able to work, because you're right.
But women are into feminism,
if
so
you
I guess they
tailor
have
this
to.
completely to women, probably just not that many people watches it. And a lot of these things perform very badly, right?
Yeah.
But if you tailor this thing, you go, hey, who watches most of TV shows? A couple in bed, probably, right?
Yeah.
I bet you if you did the analytics on Netflix, 80% of that is, I'm pulling this number out, but I bet you I'm not far off.
Yeah.
80% is like a couple sitting in bed watching Netflix. Probably a lot of it.
Yeah, a lot of that.
You know what I
on
mean?
the couch, in the bed, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically your whole goal is to make a girl kind of catch her attention. Ooh, a powerful woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then she mentions it, and just don't make it so annoying that the boyfriend's like, nah, not a chance.
Yeah.
Which is right now, like, there's not a chance I could be convinced to watch this.
No, only ironically. There's no way I'm going to be like, oh, let's hunker down, make some popcorn, and enjoy She-Hulk. Also, you know how many guys are probably like on the cusp of, you know, these kids who are like go to Comic-Cons who are just like, you know, neckbeard Comic-Con nerds who are all into this stuff, and they're just throwing up their hands being like, that's it, it's Andrew Tate time, fuck this. Like,
of course.
I'm just done with this
That's
shit.
why.
Yeah, they go like, I like comic books. Why are you ruining this shit for me?
And then they say, they're like, why are people calling? And then you go, here's the person who was one of the main writers. Here's the little people who are posting her tweets. Here's a few of the tweets of the girl who did She-Hulk. You know what? Screw it. No novels by white men in high schools for the next 20 years. Next tweet.
What?
She's a big like Twitter like screw you.
She's
white
saying
man,
we
right?
have to get any book that's ever been written by a white man out of like curriculums.
That's her end goal. I mean, I'm
That's
sure
a
there's some
lot.
like tongue in cheekness to this,
Okay.
but like my point is you go, where are you getting this from? And you go, who do you think? Like, it's like, I don't understand the idea of Hollywood being like, hey, we're gonna make a Marvel movie and be like, just so you know, like it's not for you.
Yeah, and
it makes no sense to me.
The really
It's
thing that
not
makes-
hasn't been working.
Yeah, that's the real thing that makes no sense. Is you go like, at the end of the day, these are businesses, and they are very like in tune with, you know, things that make money, things that lose money. Like there's the whole thing in Hollywood. Like you go have some huge hit, you get to do whatever you want. Like if you make some movie for like Jordan Peele movie for 10 million,
You get to make
200
90 more
You
black
get
horror
so
movies.
many fucking chances to do whatever you want.
One big hit lasts you. Like Sandler had two or three big hits, and that lasted him like 17 movies before he
I
finally.
mean,
hit
Rob
his groove
Schneider,
again.
like Deuce Bigelow, you get fucking 10 more movies.
You get 10 more
Because this is
movies.
like a low budget movie that killed.
Exactly.
Huge hit. It was as big as any movie.
You make 20 times your money, that you get to lose that back over the next.
I guess the
19
only
movies.
person that I can think of is Napoleon Dynamite. I think he got one more shot, and they go, "Yeah,
The next shot didn't
They go,
hit
you
that
know, we knew it was a flash in the pan. It was a flash in the pan.
Napoleon Dynamite didn't get that many chances.
See you at
right?
Comic-Con next year, pal, and every year for the rest of your life.
And then she says, "I'm more scared of angry white men in trench coats than I am of ISIS." And it was like, well, that one you go, yeah, you should be. like the chance of you getting.
I mean, where? Yeah, in
He's
America,
like,
sure.
Yes,
fair.
if you're walking through New York, the streets of New York, yes, you're probably more likely to get. If you do get like beat up, you're right. That's probably more likely to happen by like a white guy than a member of ISIS.
Sure.
So
sure.
you go, but it's like, yeah,
That's
that's.
probably also not most likely to happen by a white guy, but
Well, you go. What are your what are your chances of getting beat up by a white guy? It's like extremely low. What are your chances of getting like bombed by ISIS? Like,
I mean,
don't know,
once
one in a
New York
trillion?
once New York started doing the see something say something thing, ISIS kind of was gone.
We're
after
outta
that.
here.
Yeah, they go. Yeah, there's.
She's like, I get scared when I'm walking home alone and I see a drunk frat guy staring at me. He's like more scared than if she sees like a gang member, right?
Yes.
And it was just like, okay, well, this is, you know how you say you have your joke where you go, your feelings aren't right.
Yeah.
This is kind of one of those things you'd argue with someone where they'd go, yeah, but I'm more scared of like a drunk frat guy when I'm just walking home alone at night. And you go, okay, but statistically, that's probably less likely.
Yeah, you're wrong. It's
Then you go,
yeah.
yeah, but I feel like that. And I go, that's like me saying like, I feel like I'm more likely to get hit by a plane than a car. And you go, you aren't though.
Yes, you're not.
You go, you're
there's no
not,
basis in
though.
reality here.
Yeah.
You go, but my feeling. Where you challenge my feelings? now?
Okay, you go, yeah, it's like my feelings are, and you go, yeah, but that's incorrect
Right.
statistically.
Yes.
I'm actually think I'm more likely to get.
But there's no reasoning because feelings are not like a reason thing. It's not a rational thing. Feelings. They're
But it's the equivalent of saying.
they're an emotional thing.
I
so.
feel like I'm gonna be attacked by I feel like I'm more likely to be attacked by a lion than a dog in New York, and you go, You're not, though. Those are the things that when girls have those where it's like a feeling that's based on a stat that isn't true, you're just like,
Yeah.
but the truth is,
and they're unconvincible. Even if you go, here's the stats, you're wrong. They go,
well, it's funny to be like, you're kind of brainwashed and be like, no, I'm not. And be like, okay, but you believe things that aren't true. And be like, well, I think they are true. And you go, yeah, that's the definition of like being brainwashed is like, you currently believe things that aren't true.
yeah. And they go, what is truth, though?
Well, you're right.
We're living in a post-fact world, Ryan.
You know what I was kind of thinking is interesting? And I think that a lot of, the point of the matter is that Andrew Tate's off the internet and She-Hulk gets to stay, right? But there is an interesting point to be made that it's a lot of this stuff is kind of just millennials. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't blame millennials. I think that I blame like the system, man.
Yeah.
Like the idea that it was a worse deal, you know what I mean? And when there's a worse deal, but how it like manifested, you kind of have like a situation where like millennial women almost like did get a worse, like they're almost the worst generation of women because they like got a bad deal in some degree. And instead of sort of, and like
What's
millennial,
the bad deal specifically?
well, that you got out of college with like the least opportunity,
right.
the most,
but that's all.
you were sold the
That's
worst
not
dream.
millennial women. That's all millennials.
Agreed.
Yeah, okay.
So that's my point.
Yeah.
And millennial women were kind of then sold the dream that like, yo, if you can take down millennial men, you can become them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And be like, it's almost like a crab in a bucket situation.
For sure. Yeah, they pit them against each other. The She-Hulk thing too is like, this is the path. If you're an executive for some, major production company, whatever network, like this is the path of least resistance right here. Because even if this flops, you have this like plausible deniability where you're like, what, you're going to fire the guy who tried to do She-Hulk? Like
right.
Hulk's a huge franchise. I was just trying to bring some feminism to it and all this stuff. Like, what, you're going to fire me over this?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe people just don't want Hulk anymore.
Yeah, I guess people don't want Hulk anymore.
We should have just,
or like Trump is just like, he still has his claws in the American psyche.
Or even more so, it's like, told you it needed more feminism.
Oh, exactly. Like it's so easy to diffuse responsibility if this flops, and if it kills, you take all the
right.
So
the reason I kind of brought the She-Hulk thing up and her up is like in the context of like the Andrew Tate thing. It's like, first of all, I will say that so he got the full Alex Jones treatment,
full Trump Alex Jones, which is crazy. Really, because and I was saying this I don't know if you've noticed this. When you scroll through TikTok, like he's just gone.
How?
Okay, do you remember 2 months ago?
How did they get gone?
I guess they have facial recognition. I don't know. Do you remember 2 months ago you're scrolling through your feed and it's just all Andrew Tate?
I mean, that's 2 days ago.
Okay, I don't know. My feed he's gone from it.
How?
I don't see him anymore. I don't see his like the cut up videos of all the Hustler University people.
Maybe
like,
they're nuking every account.
They're nuking all those accounts. YouTube said straight up they're nuking all those accounts too. All those accounts that are meant to.
What do you mean they said? By the way,
YouTube like they released a statement about it. Yeah.
And what did that say?
There's like that he violated their terms.
Off-platform behavior?
I can't remember the exact wording they used. No, I think what they're trying to say is that he figured out how to game the algorithm with getting all these people to make accounts for him, which is a violation in some line in their terms of service.
Okay.
I think that's what they're trying to get him for. I don't know exactly. And then, but like, I don't see the volume of the Andrew Tate clips the way I saw them a month ago.
Right.
They're not gone entirely, but they're way less frequent.
I mean, nothing could be what that was the peak for sure of anyone.
Agreed. Like it was like my feed was literally just like one after another.
Yeah.
In the
I still
suggested.
see them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying they're not there, but they're way less. And I think they are straight up going after, like, I'm sure they can do this. His face in a video. They go, no videos with this guy's face.
Well, all those accounts have like, Tate repost.
Exactly. They all link to Hustlers University.
Yeah.
Which is the whole point of that whole thing is that they link to Hustlers University.
Yeah, and those
for the
people get
referral.
affiliates,
They get an affiliate. So they probably go, anything with this, gone. Yeah, so they're scrubbing this guy. They're just like...
They're scrubbing him. Which he's like, I think that I think to some degree he knows that. Like he released this like hour-long statement, which I didn't really watch the whole thing, but
I did watch most of it.
I do. There is a funny thing where it's kind of like everyone's, out there being like, talking about this, and he's like, I knew that was going to happen. I'm moving on. Whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like I got, 100,000 people to sign up for my course at $1 billion a month.
He doesn't even say anything about that stuff. He's
not going to say that.
He was all like,
why would he say that?
But he's like all like, oh, I'm doing all this charity work. Like that was the whole thing about the
I
video.
know.
He goes like, I do all this charity work. I don't talk about it. Like it's not about it.
That's his-
He's like, people are cutting up my videos and then misrepresenting me. And he's like, there's no way that I can't be misrepresented. So I'm going to like stop putting out anything until I can figure out how to like a way around not being misrepresented. But then also you're like, I'm sure sometimes you're misrepresented, but also some of those clips are.
Well, no, because you kind of like, for example, the big ones that go viral, like the women not driving or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you said that on like 5 podcasts.
Exactly.
In a row.
Like that was like a
talking
bit,
point.
a talking point.
It was
yeah.
like a bit. Yeah. Which like it's one. Yeah.
Which is funny. You're
I
like,
get-
why is that worthy of you getting kicked off
exactly
of the internet?
100%.
That's crazy.
So that was. Do you think like to what degree is it conspiracy where like a guy from YouTube and a guy from Facebook are like?
I don't think it's a guy, but at Facebook or YouTube. No, I don't think it was a guy that was behind this.
No. I'm saying.
I'm sure they've had a meeting at these companies.
Is it
where
like,
they go, hey, this
is
guy's
it under a bridge, like a bunch of like a one Facebook guy, one executive, one Tinder guy, one Rumble guy shows up. They go, you weren't invited to this. He goes, yeah, you're right. I'll see myself out.
Yeah. But no, I'm sure they had meetings where they go, hey, this guy's gaming our algorithm. Is this a violation of any way what he's doing in terms of like the multi-level?
So in
marketing
your
element?
mind, it's all about the algorithm game.
No, I think that's what they're using to get you off.
But really, they're like, this guy's got to go.
Yeah, they're just like, this guy's toxic, all the stuff. He's radicalizing young men.
He did get scrubbed, which is scary stuff that they just.
Man, I went and looked. He's only
Poof.
on Getter now, and he has a newsletter that you can sign up for. But he's on Getter, and he has a Rumble account. And on Getter is like, he posted something, had like 400 likes or something. Like it's.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
so.
I'll tell you, it's better that
He was the most searched man in the world a month ago.
he might be still right now.
Maybe, but yeah, but
if you look at it, it's kind of interesting because you're right. If you take all of this other stuff and you go, that's what they're really mad about. This guy had too much power. This guy had too much influence. But it's like what he's actually saying, which is a lot of point. You're right. They have a better argument if they try to pretend this is about the gaming the algorithm. Because if they say that it's the stuff he's saying, you go, every average Hollywood female writer says 1,000 times worse about men daily.
for sure. And his Instagram page, like he makes a good point. He's like, my Instagram page was like
Nothing.
cars.
Well, they
Me in front of a car. Me on a yacht. Like
what they say
a watch.
is we can get rid of you for off-platform behavior.
for sure. But I think they're trying to say this is not off-platform. This is gaming the platform. That's I think if
I mean, that's probably a smart move from them to play that and be like, this has nothing to do with censorship. Like,
Yeah,
he was
you
gaming
just-
our platform, and I mean, that is but
it is crazy how the companies who are supposed to be these competitors with one another, like they're not even, they're literal competitors, and they're all kind of coming together to make these like similar decisions.
right.
Yeah, so
Because it is interesting. If one of them just was like, we'll take him, you'd be like, that would be a boost in views for a second.
huge.
Or a minus in views from the people who hate him.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a weird one.
And I've also noticed that there is, you're right, there's a lot going on here. And I think at the core, it's like a straight up, this person has too much influence, but it's not like an Elon Musk character where we can get rid of him. You know what I mean? But they got rid of Trump.
You can't get rid of. But I was looking actually last night, just because you said Elon Musk, and Tate and Musk did a full send podcast. They each did one back to back, and they're pretty similar views, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like he's on that level of notoriety right
But
now.
I feel like the internet can't try to scrub Elon Musk. You know what I mean?
No, you can't screw. No, hell no.
But right. So I mean, they scrubbed Trump though, so maybe they could. I mean,
yeah,
they could scrub anyone.
I'm sure there's something that he could do. I guess.
Yeah. So, but anytime there is it's hard to just go too specific of like why, because it's like it's like a combination of a lot of things where they're just all like, this has got to stop. Mm-hmm. You know what I
Because
mean?
the thing, he never had a TikTok account.
Yeah, but they don't like it when, like, if you think about it, the underlying thing, the normal. So the most important thing is to look at, you go, that was almost like inevitable. And you go, the tech's going to do what tech's going to do. And it's like, yeah, you can complain about it, but like, it is to some degree what it is.
Yeah.
That is like the game to try to play. You know, and I think that probably people like him do know that too. The way that like, you know that.
Of course. I mean, they provided him an incredibly valuable thing for free.
But I mean, yeah, but like there is some degree, like I still do degree, like
no, I don't think they should do it. I think it's crazy that they can just arbitrarily.
Yeah,
like what's the thing?
If you get
what's
kicked
the violation?
off, you're gonna not like it. But of course,
I mean, speaking of the like multi-level marketing thing, like that's mostly a girl thing.
Yeah.
The multi-level marketing stuff is mostly girls selling fucking makeup and all this dumb and like teas and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're not banning those accounts.
And then if you look at what original like people are saying that don't like him. They're saying it's like harmful to men, guys like that. And it was just like, that's the part where I'm like, yo, what the media's like said to men for the last like 5 years has created way more depressed men than a guy telling like that ever will.
And he's just trying to tell you like, hey, you know, work on yourself. It's the same Jordan Peterson stuff and every real self-help guru that's like tailored to men for the most part. It's just like, you know, like take care of yourself, go work out. Go be productive. And
there's
don't sit around fucking smoking weed, playing video games.
And the more extreme the message is, the more people that probably try it and fail it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, and I'm sure that some people don't have a net, you know, aggregate. Some people might, you know, there are probably self-help guys out there that essentially convince people to get rich in ways that just they lose all their money in crypto or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? So there is
Michael Saylor.
What does he do?
He told everybody last year. He goes, take a mortgage out on your house and buy Bitcoin.
Oh God, that's a bold fucking thing to tell to normal people.
Crazy. I mean, I'm sure
probably ruin marriages, eh?
Hell yeah! I guarantee you, there's people who listen to that. People, yeah, I will take a fucking mortgage.
Right, I could be susceptible to that kind of advice.
It's the beans. It's your joke. It's the fucking beans.
Yeah. I've been saying that like men's fairy tales are very crypto oriented, like Jack and the Beanstalk. Yeah. But his message at the end of the day, you go, the media, like in everything they say to like dudes, have done so much more harm, like when they talk about harm, because the truth is, like a girl going out there and saying like men are bad or whatever, like you cannot listen to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is obviously spillover, but I'm saying like just the message like from all channels coming down that like men want to follow a guy that like that actually like is kind of that like has a life that you want. You know what I mean?
Of course, that's why athletes forever are like, you know, athletes, musicians, is they're doing this thing, they're popular, they're wealthy.
It seems like you're moving forward too.
Yeah.
They do what they don't want to do is follow a person that tells you to hate yourself.
Yeah, I mean, some do, I guess, and then they probably end up killing themselves.
No, but I don't even think they do. I don't think that helps any guys. Like all the messages that tell guys to hate themselves, what really they do is like it teaches those guys like how to socialize in a way that girls will accept them. Like
yeah, but I'm sure Vice has a not insignificant percentage of male readers.
Yeah,
and it just tells them all that they're bad. They just log on to Vice and you go, "You're a piece of shit," and they go, "Okay."
Yeah, and I've sort of said this before, but a lot of it is better advice for not advice, but it's like 20-year-olds need that kind of shit more than 30-year-olds because a lot of times. I've seen a lot of debates about this stuff, and a lot of people will be like, "Well, yeah, like it's not like the best way to live your life to have like 10 girls and all that sort of stuff." And you're just like, "Yeah, but you know what? A lot of the best people might have had a phase when they were 22 that they were that."
Yeah.
And like being able to do that and move on, it's kind of that thing where it does a lot of times. Like you can say like the best way to do it this, but a lot of people that. You know, for example, some guy that like had some like weird dream that he wanted to do, but he's actually not that guy and never tried, might forever kind of be think, oh, I never really did that thing.
Of course.
And that might like haunt you. But if you actually did spend 2 years doing it and you're like, oh, actually, I don't like that life.
Yeah.
Like you actually kind of figured
I gave
out.
it, and you could say you're like, I did try it. And it wasn't for me, but I did try it.
Yeah, you need to test boundaries to find out where your own boundaries are as like a human.
Yeah, and I mean, some people like just a really comfortable life, but it's like that Bill Burr joke, you know, where.
But you might want to
some
find
people
out.
Wake up when they're 50 and they go, "What the fuck is my life in this nice house?"
Or they were questioning the whole way because you almost need like the boundary. Like it's almost like the girl advice wants to tell you like, "Hey, you don't need to worry about the boundaries. We've already sorted them out for you."
Yeah.
But in reality,
and you can do no wrong.
and you're perfect. But even the girl advice to guys, you know what I mean? They're like, you could definitely do a lot of wrong, and we figured out where, so you don't have to do it. But like, I think that like there's these boundaries that like for a guy, in a lot of ways, you need to like find them yourself.
Yeah.
And a lot of that time means like doing it too much, or
It's the adventure. It's like the call to action kind of.
you need a call to action. So I think that's the biggest one. Like, yes, the picking up girls and how to get bitches and like all that stuff. Like, truth is, it becomes pretty irrelevant for 80% of men as they pass 30, because you go 80% of guys are probably just in some sort of a relationship. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of guys that are like pickup girl guys. You go, for anyone over 30, you're like, yeah, I mean, like I've been married. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that was a thing I did.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that was interesting.
He'll be back though. He ended the video with his part. This is just part 2 is now activated.
Oh, yeah.
Part 2 activated.
I'm going to take a second to tell you about a sponsor of ours that I've gotten tons of great feedback from people on the Patreon who've sent me messages, and that is BetterHelp. Now, you think of your body like a car. And if you have that, you have the same car for your entire life. And that's how your brain works. So why don't we treat them that way? Well, we should. So how we care for our minds affects how we experience life. So it's important that we invest time and care into keeping them healthy. There's plenty of ways to support a healthy brain, like learning a new language, taking power naps, but there's also BetterHelp online therapy. The reason why this is good is you don't have to go in. You can do it online. And it's available for you to be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours if you want something to talk about. It's more affordable than in-person therapy. It's an online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat only therapy sessions. So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to, which I can totally get why you wouldn't. So, like I said, we've had a lot of people tell us that they were positive about this as opposed to normal therapy, which a lot of people feel weird to do. It's also hard to fit in where you go, oh, every Tuesday I do this thing. It kind of becomes a pain in the ass life can be busy, whereas this you can do on your terms. So if you want to do this, our listeners get 10% off the first month at betterhelp.com/boyscast. That's betterhelp.com/boyscast. Well, there's another thing. If one thing is, and this is the thing, they're wondering why guys like him keep popping up, and you go, like, why is it that we've gave them all this? We gave them She-Hulk. We gave them to your white people. It's like, why do you keep finding these toxic guys? Do you not have enough? Why do you need these guys? And you know who's filling the void?
Who?
Where was it? There's a new Patriarch Fest.
This thing is the fucking craziest.
So Danny needs this, and this is what I think. So there's this.
Honestly, part of me wants to go.
Well, I think you need it.
You think I need Patriarch Fest?
Yes. So basically, this is probably like Andrew Tate times 100.
This is, yeah.
So there's this festival.
There is a photo of the guy who led this with Andrew Tate. I think Andrew Tate was on their podcast like years ago.
Well, this guy's Andrew Tate on crack.
Oh, it's insane.
And there's this thing, and this is who's filling the void for these guys. They think we get rid of Andrew Tate, like, good, now people will listen to Seth Rogen's like smoking weed and, why robbers are actually good podcast.
Yeah. Love getting robbed pod.
So there's this thing that someone sent in. It's basically they do this festival every year, and I think Danny should go.
Should we go?
I think Danny needs a
It's
little.
a good deal. $1,699.
Sold everything he owns for $500.
Or $2,700.
You got rinsed by girls.
$2,700 includes a 5-night hotel stay in Orlando, Florida.
So these are your two options right now.
Yeah.
You either go to Patriarch Fest or you sit and watch She-Hulk and love it. Those are the two options they're giving you. And
yeah.
Okay.
I will say though that
this is
included in the $1,700 is bring a friend for free.
Really?
So it's actually 2 for 1.
Well, Danny needs this.
Yeah.
This is your options now.
And then you can also bring a girl.
Many conservatives are little more than beta male puppets and cuckservatives. This is Danny. Literally, as seen in recent news headlines like Jack Murphy, they poetically wax and moan about traditional values while doing nothing because they are mostly just spineless jellyfish and beta male enforcers for the feminist establishment.
That's me.
So this is you. You are sort of an enforcer for the...
Yeah. I got my She-Hulk t-shirt on.
You are... We're all serious. I can see JJ actually going to this for sure, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And JJ, you could see for sure coming back with like a shirt that says alpha male. Like, you know what I mean?
The patriarch. I'm the patriarchy.
Yeah, well, this is the two options. They don't want to give you any other ones. We're serious about family values. We're serious about ending the insult on the institution of fatherhood and all roots. That part isn't funny. There's a couple of funny parts.
I mean, dude, the FAQ. What if my wife won't let me attend and says you need to reach deep into your soul and take back your balls with a 21 Summit ticket? You'll thank us, and so will she. Dude, the thing they offer too with the bring a friend is they also offer, if you don't want to bring a friend, you can force your wife to go to the concurrent female one.
There's a female one.
That's happening at the same time. Yeah. That's how to learn how to be a woman, taught by all men. Like a guy who's literally wearing a hat that says, make women virgins again.
This guy's a rule. Yeah.
Here's an FAQ. Here's one of the questions. Is the event, Ryan, what do you think the answer is? Is this event a safe space?
My guess is it's not.
No. It says the
What do they say?
Greatest and safest space in the world for men, and we take security very seriously.
Oh, they mean a safe space, like someone's gonna come.
I thought it was gonna be a safe space too. Yeah. You don't want to be. This is like Doc City. Like every video of this is gonna be blurred faces. All
for sure.
Nobody wants to be public about going to this.
Well, Danny, you said you might attend. It's 2,000 beans too.
$2,000.
So they're not messing
flights.
around.
Doesn't even include flights.
But you're right, because it's probably not the type of guy that goes. This is like what they're talking about. Like, fuck, I am a beta male.
I imagine
right?
you could. I imagine no filming there too, because if you could film, it would almost be worth going. Like if you could film, you go, hey, can we film coming here? Then it would be worth going. But
then you have to go to basically ask your wife, or you essentially have to go to your
ask. You don't ask your wife shit.
But that's if they didn't have to ask their wife, they wouldn't need it. Like this is the thing, right? The problem is the guy that's getting bitched around by his wife is the guy who's going to this, right? The guy who's got his house.
This is his last stand. He goes, listen,
that's what I'm saying.
going to Patriarch Convention, and if you don't like it, then we're getting a divorce.
Or the other way, where it's like, so, honey, I was thinking, I have a little thing that I want to attend in a couple of weeks. It's a festival. It's like, oh, a festival. Who are you going with? I'll just be solo, and it's gonna be $2,000. Well, let me just read the beta male cocks.
Yeah. They call it mansplaining palooza for the women one.
Dude, sending your girl to this is so sick for her birthday.
Yeah, that was so funny.
That's the best birthday.
Honey, I know that I said that we would go to Europe for a vacation, but I got something even better. We're going to Orlando, Florida. And she's like, Disney? Even better.
Yo, that's so funny. Giving your girlfriend a pass to like the feminist, like how to be a woman at Patriarch Fest.
Patriarch Fest. There's like 2 women and 14 men speakers.
There's 14 men speakers. I bet you that one's not too well attended. No, Patriarch Fest.
Yeah, there's a lot of bros.
The How to Be a Woman conference at Patriarch Fest is 9 girls with black eyes.
Yeah, there's a makeup tutorial. Oh, really?
Holy shit, dude. Sending your girl to Patriarch Fest is one of the funniest things.
So crazy.
Shit.
Oh, man.
But you know what? If you think about it the other way around, where you go like, this is the like other side of the, you know, how to be a better feminist conference. Yeah. And you go, there's 1,000 guys right now getting dragged to like how to be a feminist.
Yeah, how to be a feminist.
How to tear down the patriarchy.
There's 10 dudes with black eyes.
Yeah.
In there
like that is happening.
Applying makeup. They go just,
like that is completely happening. Yeah. And I'm sure this thing's probably not that particularly well attended.
Not for this kind of money. It can't. We were saying earlier, I'm like,
if they're operating on any sort of scale, that's wild.
Insane. Like if there's just, like, you know, Orlando Convention
Dude, it's $2,000. If there's 2,000 people there, are you kidding me?
Oh, insane.
What is that, 400K?
4 million.
4 million?
Oh, so what do you say, 200 or 2,000?
2,000.
That's 4 million, yeah.
Yeah, so if they have 2,000 people there, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
That's the... But yeah,
there's not 2,000 people there. I watched some of the videos.
Go to the website.
I watched some
21studios.com.
I watched some of their YouTube videos of their talks from like last year, and it looks like in a small comedy club. Like it's like in a small room,
right? And
you don't hear any chatter from the crowd, so it's like, who knows?
Dude, that's funny if you show up and you're like the only guy that paid the $2K, and you're just like, oh shit,
yeah, damn it.
I've been had.
Yeah.
But there's probably guys all over the conference, all over the world, going with their chick to how to be a fucking beta fest.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like Vice Fest or some shit. Like
At the page, we're bringing masculinity back to fathers. So some of it's normal, but it was just the first line that was getting me. Some of it's like just kind of like
I think
traditional shit.
some of it's traditional, but I bet it gets real wacky really fast there. Like
You think so?
There's like one talk about be married, have kids, that's a good thing, but then it gets really into like
what?
just how to force your wife into serving serving you. Like, dude, there's one here: dominate your wife, dominate your life. Is one of the speakers.
That's his speaker.
what
I want to go to that talk.
This guy actually remember from
dude,
YouTube,
you have to send your girl.
Yo, Elliot. Remember that guy on YouTube?
Baby, you said we should do more things together. So you picked the last event, babe. You picked the last event when
you picked the last event. Yeah, that was my sister's wedding. Still, you picked it.
The last event. So now it's my turn to pick an event. What are we doing? We're going to be attending Dominate Your Wife, Dominate Your Life conference. Dominate Your Wife, Dominate Your Life. What are some of the other ones?
Oh, there's dominate your wife, dominate your life.
Dude,
there's the future is patriarchy, and it's this guy who's a minister.
Yeah,
but he's done as Thanos, which is the lamest thing.
What?
He looks like Thanos.
What do you mean he looks like Thanos? He has the Thanos
the
gear
glove,
on,
the glove and stuff, and he's like this nerdy pastor doing the future of fucking.
Boys are back.
Boys are back and down.
Yo, we need to fucking. Yo, we need to unironically go to Patriarch Fest.
Yeah, we should. Maybe we should make that on it for
double date.
Yeah, maybe we should make that a goal on the Patreon.
Okay, what are some of the other ones? Dude, dominate your wife, dominate your life.
Here's
incredible.
one: stronger fathers, stronger families. That's fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some of it's just like that kind of stuff.
Upgrade your wife with the 22 convention.
I mean, don't bring your girl to upgrade your wife. You don't want to bring your girl to the Upgrade Your Wife convention, or you bring her just to be like, just so you know, this is an option.
Yeah, just so you know. I don't know what you guys are doing over there, but I might be going home with somebody else. We'll see.
Yo, are you kidding me? So you can, you definitely
imagine you're the chick and you know your guys over at the Upgrade Your Wife seminar, and you're like doing these fucking tutorials about how to like clean better, and she's like, what the fuck is this?
Yo, that's so funny because you bring your chick and then she goes to
the other side.
The girl, she goes to the girl. What's the girl one called?
It's the same thing. The 22 convention.
No,
21
but
is
the girl one. It was called the something.
They just call it 21 Summit Patriarch Convention, and then the girls is the 22.
Okay,
what they call it.
So the girl, you go with your chick, and you're just like
the 22 convention.
So, what seminars are you doing? I was thinking about I was doing the seminar on how to be more feminine. It was like, what about you? It's like, hard to choose. I got a couple I'm thinking about. What time is it now? I might. Probably. I don't know.
You're going to do the crypto one or the Upgrade Your Wife one. I don't know. I haven't decided quite yet. But
yeah, I'm just going to do crypto, family values, Upgrade Your Wife. What was that? You can't. All right, we go to Patriarch Fest, but you can't do the Upgrade Your Wife seminar.
That's her line in the sand. They go, no, upgrade your wife.
You can't do the Upgrade Your Wife seminar.
I love this. Look, this
what
is
look.
All tickets to the Patriarch Convention are bring a friend free. While many attendees bring a friend or brother, alternatively, you can use your +1 to send your woman for state-of-the-art wife training at the
Re-education.
Re-education, straight up. We have the best mansplainers in the world, ready to increase her greatness, shed fat, and boost her femininity by over 500%.
Oh shit! Where'd you get that boy's real license plate?
Oh, our boy Sleva from Minnesota.
He gave it to you?
Yeah, remember they came out to the feminist mom and his girl. Remember they were dressed up?
Did he give it to you in Minnesota?
No, he sent it to me. Yeah, he sent it to me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's sick.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Nice. Shout out.
He'll love.
I've never saw that before.
Yeah, I just brought it today.
But yeah, the Upgrade Your Wife seminar, and then your girl goes to the cooking and cleaning seminar. This is
and the shedding fat, like she's doing burpees while they're telling her like, yeah, your husband might not be going home.
This is one of those things where you got to make an elaborate lie. See, if this festival was smart, this is what actually they should do. This is what a place like this needs to do. As soon as and this is my advice to them if you're doing a seminar like this, right? Because it's just probably what's hurting their profit margins is it's just such a hard sell. You know what I mean? Like even for a guy to say that I'm going to this seminar and they look at the website and one of the seminars is Upgrade Your Wife, right?
Yeah.
I think what you need is, and this is
renting a convention center is like not cheap.
But listen, this is what they need to do. So when you sign up for the seminar, what happens is in your thing, they send you a private link and they start a separate website for a fake ball hockey tournament, right? Do you see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
this is the kind of stuff they need to do. Like, if you're going to do this, it almost needs to be like that, right?
I think this could apply for lots of shit, what you're saying right now.
Right. So, but it needs to be like secretive. They go,
Boys golf trips, fucking sports stuff.
part of the thing is they give a cover for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, they go, what's actually happening is we're having this big ball hockey tournament. And then you go and you get assigned a team and you go, or something, some version of that, right? Like a video game convention or something
whatever.
the girls would not.
Something very benign that they don't want to go to.
Girls would want nothing to do with, right?
Yeah, boy stuff.
Yes, and you put it somewhere that's not like Vegas or something. You know, it's in the middle of nowhere and it's just outdoor ball hockey tournament. It happens in the parking lot, right?
Yeah.
And so it starts out where essentially that happens, and no one's gonna rat because they just got a whole training on how to
not be a fucking rat.
Yeah, right. So you basically
your
set up
balls
this
back.
whole thing. They start a website. They make the round robin, like
The brackets.
The brackets.
They announce the scores.
They announce the
live
score-
scoring.
live scores, live brackets, all of this stuff. And you could keep sending your wife, like they update it every 2 hours. You send your wife, how's it doing? Like, our team just lost this bracket, but we're thinking of wear this one. Meanwhile, you're at the Upgrade Your Wife seminar.
Yeah, they agree. Yeah,
So-
the first thing you do is you take photos
Team
of
photos.
ball hockey, action
Right.
shots.
Yeah, team photo. Like,
getting stitched up.
the first hour of every day is the fake ball hockey thing. I think that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
If you were going to make anything like this work.
Yeah, they have a photo here. I don't know how recent it was.
All right, give me one or two more seminars.
It looks like they have about 100, maybe 100 people. They just have the speakers. Those are the only seminars that they have. They have they're just different speakers, but they're pretty all over the place. But they have past speeches. They have the FAQs. I don't.
Okay, so anyways, if they want to take my advice, they want to take my advice. If
That's
they
a
don't,
good
they
advice.
don't.
But that's good advice for a lot of stuff that guys want to do.
And then it's a secret thing. Yeah, they
Yeah.
give you like, hey, thanks for signing up for Patriarch Fest. Your first mission is to this. But like, it basically says like, don't tell your wife you're signing up for this. We're gonna send you the cover.
Yeah. Or
Ball hockey might be tough.
Do you
if
think
it's
any
a guy that
guy?
doesn't
Do you think
that.
any guy straight up doesn't tell his wife that that's what they're going to?
Of course.
No. Bring the wife. I'm saying we're going to Orlando, and then
She gets there.
She gets to go. So just so you know, this is what we're doing. And if you don't like it, but he's not quite there yet.
He's not there yet.
He goes, but if you don't like it,
we'll talk in 4 days.
We'll talk in 5 days. Yes.
He doesn't know what to say yet.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Because it's a tough sell. You basically have to be good at this stuff before you go.
It's the toughest sell.
You don't think you could sell that?
Patriarch Fest.
You don't think you?
I don't even think I could sell if I got free. If I go, hey, I just won tickets to Patriarch Fest, all expense paid, free hotel. Like it's like a timeshare, but 10 times worse.
That's such a funny thing. Is like that to do it like that, where like you go to a basketball game and you've won 2 free tickets to Patriarch Fest. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a raffle.
Yeah, you make the shots. Yeah, you won 2 tickets to Patriarch.
So that is. So I'm telling you, those are your 2 options. Or option 2 is listen to the. Okay, before this, I'm going to tell you this is advice that girls give. So as I've said,
Yeah. Girls give the best advice, by the way.
they give. I'm not saying they always give bad advice to each other or whatever, but like when girls give men advice, it's always the wrong advice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're right. Like if you're a fucking 20-year-old guy and you don't know, you're trying to cobble together someone to listen to, and there isn't a million good options for them.
No. And it kind of, there is some sort of logically makes sense where you go, like, if I'm having trouble with women, maybe I'll get advice from women. Like, there's something about that makes
Get
sense.
advice to fish from the fish.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. But there is something where you go, maybe they'll help because they know the inner workings, but you go, no, it's not. It's fool's gold.
Yeah. But the
That's funny. The fish.
Patrice
Sure.
O'Neill had like the bit about something like that.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if it said that exactly. But it is that you're getting whatever you're hunting. You're getting advice from the thing you're hunting,
The
right?
thing you're hunting, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
But okay, so I'll give you there first. I'm going to go through 2,
Okay.
and that's what we're going to do. The first, this is just, there's been a slew lately. I get all these articles, and a lot of times when there's a theme or you keep seeing it pop up where you're just like, there's a lot of this.
Yeah.
3 different places this week were like, hey, this is dating advice for guys.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, This is a little less pointed. There's just this one that I sent you. There was Women's Health Magazine did a list of date ideas.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that they're saying is that, like, women are becoming pickier. You know what I mean? So they're saying men need to step up their game.
This is for men?
And this is Women's Health Magazine. Well, they all are, but Women's Health Magazine did an article of first date ideas, right? So and there was 3 that were just fucking dying to me. It's like, this is the world women are living in.
I picked out 3 as well, so
we're probably the same 3.
I wonder if they're the same.
Okay,
3.
first one.
There's 45, so if they're the same 3, that's hilarious.
And there's a lot. There's some of them are just like, go to a movie. And you go, what an article.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But some of them, 18, take a trapeze class.
No, I didn't have that one.
So this is, why not? Maybe you don't waste this on any old Hinge match. It's a great option for someone you've been casually hanging out with. So,
class.
I'm not going to do a trapeze date for a.
I love it's not a bad idea, but the wording of it made it so funny because it was so just
trapeze class?
Chick wording. No, go to a sports game. Number 1, go to a sports game.
yeah. It does seem like someone that does.
You're like, you hate sports. Nobody who likes anything about sports would ever say, let's go to a sport.
She works for Women's Health Magazine.
Hey, you up for a sports game?
Sports match? 7, goat yoga.
Yeah, I saw that. That was not one of mine.
You didn't have goat yoga.
I didn't have a goat yoga. There are a lot of. I had plan a progressive dinner.
Plan a progressive dinner was good. I didn't know.
Here's a twist on a typical dinner date. Instead of grabbing a table at your go-to spot, agree on a neighborhood and visit different places for drinks, appetizers, dinners, and desserts. That's just like go to the hood. Like, what is that? Like go to Little India or something? Like, like what is that? What does that even mean? A progressive dinner? Like, don't go eat at a white-owned restaurant?
I think that's what they mean.
Yeah, like they're like, hey, let's go to like Chinatown.
Yeah, go to a non-white dinner. Very progressive of you. Getting Chinese food's progressive now.
Yeah.
So do goat yoga. They go, don't like the thought of looking at animals behind bars. You might like the thought of letting them bleed at you. Mid-sun solution. I don't know what this
a
yoga
pose?
term.
Yeah.
Behold, goat yoga, fun activity that involves doing a group yoga class while goats are around you.
And if goat yoga is not for you, go to Little India and eat some goat.
Goat yoga. Okay, so I'm not doing goat yoga. I'm not doing a trapeze class.
No.
Definitely not doing a trapeze class.
This is like literally advice for women to like lose interest in some guy. Like, some guy like, just
on top of that, you go,
away.
just so you know, like most people are fat right now. So it's like, there's maybe no worse of a thing than a fat person to go on a first date to fucking trapeze class.
Yeah. Not to mention you're like, you want your date to end in like someone going to the fucking hospital.
13. Take a sex education class.
Oh my god, that's like the ultimate creepy guy. Imagine a guy suggests it.
Oh my god,
red flag of the year.
Yeah. Are you both specifically looking for a more explicit sexual encounter? Then you might decide to take a sex education class together. Do your research to find in-person and online offerings. A sex education class. You're going to do that on one of your first dates.
Watch porn.
It's crazy.
Go to a porn theater.
So what's another one you had?
Do improv. Not go to improv. Not go watch improv. But you go, okay, that's a fine date. That you were almost there. You almost got a good date idea. Go do improv. Any improv experience? Nope.
Throw me a thing. Us boning tonight.
Me pulling your hair later.
Smooching. So those are some very bad ideas.
Really bad advice.
But this article, it said, here's how single men can rise to women's higher standards. Isn't that article great?
Yep.
This is Lifehacker.
Yeah, don't lower your standards. God forbid you would ever try and meet some sort of equilibrium where you actually are lowering your standards to come down in line with men of your same standard.
They say their hypothesis is that women have higher standards right now, right? So
right now, yeah.
So women have decided that they have higher standards, right? So here's how men can raise up to meet them. And the funny part about with all this though, where they go, here's an amount of people, right? So you go, there's the same amount of guys and girls, and you go, crazy that like women have this like randomly higher standards right now. And it was like, well, then I guess there's going to be more single women.
Yes. It's honestly, this is if you go take your first ever economics class and they draw like the supply and demand lines.
There's never been a more even one.
Yeah. And there's like a literal, like a equilibrium, like market clearing price where every person matches up along the curve or whatever. And then they're just like, yeah, just be like a crazy outlier. See how that works for you.
And they're saying like, turns out all these girls are crazy outliers right now.
Yeah.
And the truth is they forget to, with the higher standards, the thing is like, you know, this is that thing where why people are always saying that when everyone's banging everyone, it's like bad for, you know, a lot of people in the population, because like when these girls are like, I have higher standards, all that really leads to is like, you know, those sixes that have this like this newfound higher standard, like it means the eights will still bang them.
Yeah.
But what happens is
they're not locking them down.
They're not locking them down, right?
Yeah.
So all it means is like, yeah, you just become like side pieces. Like a girl that has like way higher standards, all that means is you're like relegated to like some dude's number 4.
Yeah, and then you just get dicked around until you're too old, and then you're
kind of what happens.
Yeah,
right?
It's 100% what happens. It's sad.
It is
because this is like all these women are giving this advice, and it's really bad advice.
It's such bad advice
because it's not rooted in reality.
Well, they think they're solving it with advice by no, I know how to solve this. Like, and I always bring this up because it's my favorite thing that like references so much. But when Homer goes, "Are you guys working hard? Like, have you just thought of working harder?" And they go, "Sure thing, boss." And they start working harder, and they go. So basically, they're like, so many women right now have standards that are higher than what men actually are, and they go, "Oh, I know. Fuck. Hey guys, have you thought about being better?"
Yeah, and the guys are like, yes, so that we don't have to be with them.
Yeah.
They go, yes, because we don't like who we're currently matching up with.
You're so right. I didn't even think of that because it's still an equilibrium.
Yes.
Because there's still the same amount of people. So you go, you know, these sevens that should be with these sevens, they go, but the 7 guys aren't good enough for them. They go, well, yeah, but if they get better, they still won't be with you.
Yes, it's not good advice.
No, if that 7 gets better, he'll have his pick of 9 of you now.
Yes, or he goes, I'd like an 8 now.
Yeah, I would like an 8 now.
And you're still 7s, or maybe you might be 2 years older and you're a 6.8.
Of course.
And you're like, yeah, hey.
So it's just a crazy way of looking at the world.
And women eat this slop up. So that's the real sad part. They're just fucking sitting there eating their bonbons, being like, yeah, I do deserve a better man.
But you're right, because it is so funny being like, I'm a 6, and you go, all these guys that are a 6s, the 6 guys actually lower because women have higher standards right now, and you go, good luck with that.
Yeah, you're still a 6. Whatever you think in your mind. You're still 6.
And then you're like,
guys are 6s.
But I think that because I have higher standards, I deserve a 7. You go, so do they.
Yes, that's literally the problem with everybody who says I can't meet someone. And it's because your standards are too high.
For what you are.
For what you are. You're not, like, the reality of who you are is obviously not in tune with how people perceive you.
Uh-huh.
Like you think you're a 7, and everybody in the world is like, that's a 6.
And
doesn't match up.
These type of girls with their like, you're not only are you a 6, you're a 6 that has self-reported high standards.
Yes.
So you're like a high maintenance 6.
Yes. So you're like a 5.8.
Right, because the fact that you're like, oh, I have all these like standards for a man that are like higher than average, like that's also a negative.
Yeah, that's a negative. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Tough.
It's good stuff, though.
These chicks need Andrew Tate, to be perfectly honest.
Literally.
They need that kind of like, male self-help shit.
I mean, I think that, every
honesty.
guy that is telling the truth and speaking about the world the way they are, it's like, maybe everyone doesn't need things at any given time, but the world like does. If you go, all of the girl versions we like and all of the guy versions we get rid of, yes, you end up with a scenario where girls have unrealistically high standards.
Yeah.
Because you tell them
and then die alone. Or
and
but
that's the moral of the story is it doesn't make them happier.
No.
And it doesn't obviously make guys happier either. It makes no one happier.
No, it makes no one happier.
To sort of have like an imbalance.
Unless there starts being a bunch of scab women they're just crossing the picket lines.
If anything, there's probably a thing with guys that are like overtly aggressive to women that is somehow like also good because you're just like, it makes other guys be like, see, I told you that's what other guys think. I'm actually progressive compared to
this person. Yeah. For the people who go way too far with it.
So it does equals all out.
Yeah. I mean, there is an equilibrium.
And I don't even necessarily
there's
think
equal
that, like,
amount, right?
I don't know. Like, I don't know Andrew Tate enough to kind of know everything he thinks, but my guess is not so much that his actual core philosophy he believes is that crazy as much as, like, he just, like a lot of people, like anyone's in entertainment sometimes, like, you used a lot of the dark arts to get popular.
It's like Tony Robbins. It's like Tony Robbins who has all these good points, but then he's, says, like, he's calling people motherfuckers when they're on stage with him. And
because
like,
that's how you have to draw attention.
Yeah, it's a way to draw attention. Exactly.
Remember when he dropped the N-word?
No.
Never seen that clip?
No.
Dude, Tony Robbins was doing a thing and he was talking to a black guy and he was...
Yeah, he does shit like...
He was like, you need to find a place where me calling you this won't bother you kind of thing. And he calls him it.
Yeah. And again, it's like, honestly, if you kind of can...
That might have helped the guy. I don't know. Like,
yeah, like if you can kind of like be like, hey, I'm giving you some tips to like control your emotions and like your responses. Like,
but your emotions are right always, so why would you control them?
Well, that's why he's talking to dudes.
Right, of course. Well, Tony Robbins, I think, is predominantly talking to women
as well. Honest. But no, he has a lot of guys.
Yeah, it's a very churchy atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, yeah, really like culty. Not culty, but yeah, very much like that. But I mean, there's always going to be a vacuum. Like Andrew Tate's gone, someone is going to fill that void.
Of course.
Always. It's
Sneeko.
Sneeko, yeah, exactly. Sneeko. And then once he gets...
And people are going to be saying about him, like, if we talk to him, it's like, if Sneeko's a friend of mine, and you go... nothing he thinks is that like fucking insane. He's just like a wild fucking 23-year-old.
He does not think anything that insane at all.
But they said, here's how single men can rise to women's higher standards. I don't know how mothers used to talk about dating, but I do know that their daughters live by a simple mantra: dump him. It's great. Many women are refusing to lower standards for men who aren't emotionally available, well-meaning communicators, or at least able to demonstrate the bare minimum of respect. However, there's a flip side to this trend. Dating opportunities for heterosexual men go down as relationship standards rise. And also for you.
Yeah.
Like, they're acting like there's more women than men.
Yeah.
Or there's more men than women. You're like, yes, if there was 2 times the amount of men than women,
sure, then you would be able to do that.
It would still not change because all of it would still equal out.
Yeah, exactly. But you would at least have more like options. The supply is greater, so then you go, okay, sure.
But it would just mean you'd be in the same situation, but a million guys would not be getting any pussy, and then you'd have the same situation again.
Which is literally what's happening in China.
Of course.
Where they have this, like, guys rent out women to, like, just be girlfriends to, like, meet their parents and stuff because they just, like, there's not enough women for men.
Yeah.
Just literally.
There's a part of that growing up where you go, that idea of, like, there's a perfect scenario, or there's, like, the one, or there's, like, you know what I mean? All that stuff is, like, it's, like, whimsical, right?
Yeah, it's a fairy tale.
You can believe
it's a literal fairy tale.
But you can believe that the way, like, I get that it's comfortable to believe, like, a girl, the same way that you might, like, believe in a religion. You believe, like, if I believe this was, like, the soulmate for me, like, I mean, I don't know. Then, like, whatever.
Yeah, why is your soulmate always in the country you, like, you know?
No shit.
Obviously, but yeah. Like,
why was the religion always in the country?
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. All that, yeah. But I don't think it helps anything. It does the opposite, but it seems like a nice thing to have this, you know, there's the one for you and Mr. Right's out there.
Well, I mean, it is.
And he is out there.
It's not the worst thing
friend.
for like a chick to think. Like, if you are married to a chick and she has this belief that you are the one,
of course,
like you're fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi,
and vice versa. I'm sure.
I don't know. I'm not gonna fall for this kind of nonsense.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm sure mentally for a relationship, if both people are like, yeah, we're meant to be and whatever, there's nobody else. Yeah, I'm sure that's great for a relationship.
But your girl being like, I don't want to go to Patriarch Fest. It's like, ugh, my soulmate wants me to go to Patriarch Fest. It's not just some guy I'm dating. This is my soulmate that the universe put me with. How am I supposed to not go to something he wants? He's my soulmate.
Do you think they make them wear Handmaid's Tale outfit?
I hope so.
The girl version of Patriarch Fest?
Dump him. It's great. Many women are refusing to lower their standards. However, the reality that I'm a woman who's been courted by a few men. Brag. It was just like, Yeah, dudes are down to bang you.
Yeah, every girl has been
I've picked
courted
on
by
a
a
few
female.
common toxic mistakes that men make during the courting phase. This can all be described, in my opinion, as one thing. She's saying she sees herself as higher standards, which means she's going to be with, she just sees herself as like she deserves 8s, right?
Yeah.
She's going on dates with a bunch of 6s, and she's like, they're not quite doing it for me. I will give a list of why I think that is, and that list will be wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, when you know, the best way I always describe things like this is comedy. It's just such a good, perfect way. It's like an audience gives you information of like whether they laughed or not laughed, and that's valuable, right?
Yeah,
What
huge.
So it's like an audience. Imagine you do a joke and the audience, like as a whole, laughs or doesn't laugh, and that tells you a lot of information. What you don't need, okay, if everyone comes up to you afterwards and says, hey, that joke that you didn't work, like I think you go, I promise you what you're about to say is wrong.
Yes, for sure. Like,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
for them to help you fix it.
Well, they don't know how to fix it.
They don't know how to fix it. They just know that it maybe like they didn't like it, but they don't know how to fix
Well,
it.
I'll oftentimes I'll know the real answer. Like
Yeah.
I'll be like, as soon as like you're doing a joke, it's not working, and you're just like, okay, like you've been doing this long enough to be like, I didn't premise this enough. I've been working and I tried something new,
Yeah.
and it didn't work. And then they'll say like, oh, that one thing, like that was too much for that crowd, and you're like, no, it wasn't. I just didn't say this line before that like,
or it
you know
was
what I
slightly
mean?
too long in between, or like
Yeah, I
like-
added another line and it kind of ruined the joke. You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
yeah.
Or they'll
Took
say
too long to get there.
Yeah, they'll say like people have a million reasons why they think that, but that's what girls, they can give you the information of whether what you're doing is working or not. Like you're on a date, you're doing all this stuff, and then the girl wants to bang you. That's information that what worked. If it didn't work, they might be like, I think the reason you don't you don't know the reason.
No.
You just know that you do know that it didn't work. Point taken.
Yeah.
But like you being like, I think it's because you didn't open up enough. You go, then you think that.
No.
That's
You go,
what-
I know you think that, but I think it went south when I asked her to pay for the bill.
yeah, or it went south like when I just like, my energy was like too feminine,
Yeah.
or like I wasn't commanding enough about the situation. Like
Too
it could be a
dote.
million.
There's a
things.
million things.
The girl didn't like the
I was
way
too
that
I mean, you know how
looked.
many girls that you've heard it because yeah, he was too into me.
Sure.
I didn't like it.
Or not enough. Well, she
Or
said
not enough.
That's one of her things is go, let the person know you're interested. All of their things is like in a perfect way. It's like a guy doing an article and being like, advice for girls is like, let them know that you're down to bone. Give them a beach in the bathroom. Just advice
Just
for
so he knows what's in store.
Advice for girls. Like I've noticed that a lot of girls are having trouble like getting boyfriends, and there's sort of an epidemic of single women. So we've developed like a list of advice for women. Number 1, give them a beach in the bathroom on a first date.
That way he'll know that you're really down.
Number 2, pay for the bill beforehand.
Prepay.
Prepay.
Yeah, I put a retainer in. Order whatever you want.
Yeah. Number 3, send them some nudes before you've even met. Let them know that it's about to go down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Send him your STD profile too. Make sure. You go, just so you know, I've only been with 2 men ever. You go, oh, this is all.
Let him know out of the gate that you'd be fine if he banged a friend while he was with you. So yeah, you go, don't trauma dump. And this is, yes. They want you to be, so her first thing is she wants guys to be open and emotional.
Yeah.
But what she doesn't want is a guy who's too open and emotional where he's trauma dumping. And it was like, all your things is like describing, you're like, some sort of a balance on the emotional front. It is like, don't start crying, but we do want you to open up. And it was like, no, girls, you give, every guy who's like good with girls has like a few things that they say that give the illusion. Like you almost have bits.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
You're
Dating
like,
bits, yeah.
you like, you have this story that you tell that like, gives the girl, like it almost like makes you sound like, you know that this story's funny and also makes you kind of sound like cute. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Every guy has like these little like tidbits.
It's like whenever you get take a tour of somewhere, like you have a tour guide and he has this whole routine.
a guy's sort of a tour guide on a date.
Yeah, you're just a tour guide.
And yeah, you have this story where you're like, like crazy. You slip into conversation that sort of crazy. My buddy's dog, and we all pitched in like $1,000 to save it or whatever. Like, you know, it's probably a kind of crazy thing. And you have your actual real way to get into there that like tells this story that's sort of a narrative that you.
And you've tweaked it since like, you know what didn't work like on the date a few weeks ago with that one girl.
That didn't work.
She go, yeah, she kind of recoiled when we said, when I laughed about putting the dog down. So you took that out.
Yeah, because you wanted to keep it light. You were just trying to keep it light. Yeah, it's guys refine their like dating bits the way that honestly very similar to the way that comedians refine their bits on stage. Totally. Have follow through. If the first date went well, make sure to say something confident and clear, like "I'd love to see you again." This girl's just writing like, if I was designing a robot and be like, "Well, yeah, maybe he didn't want to see you again," and be like, "Well, he should because women have high standards right now." Be honest with your intentions. This is the one where it's like the dumbest thing. Like, if you're just looking for something casual, say you're looking for something casual. It's like,
no,
yeah, that doesn't work all that good. First date, just, you know, be very clear with your intentions. Like, sit down, like, I'm gonna cut the shit. Here's what's going on. I'm already like seeing like 3 or 4, looking at another fifth one to the roster. If you really, obviously, if things go really well, you could probably con me into dating after a couple months. Like, if you stick around long enough, like, honestly, I will say one of my faults is I will get bullied into situations. So if you kind of stick around, don't cause me shit. I could see us in a relationship in 5 months,
5 to 10 months.
So that's kind of what I'm looking for.
I mean, the real answer is you go, what are your intentions? And then as a guy, you go, what are your intentions?
She goes,
I'm looking for like a husband, settle down, and go, I am also looking for that.
Yeah. Well, I'm in a million years, you just
I'm looking for a husband. I'm just like, I want to have kids. I think it's time to settle down. What about you? Go, I'm just out here just trying to fuck.
Yeah. And she's not, and obviously again,
you're already on the date.
Of course. And none of this advice is for a guy that's good with women, because any guy that's good with women like
doesn't need this advice.
But also she's banging, like that's who she thinks she should get, probably. You know what I mean? So she's telling a guy who's not that good with women, like, show up and just tell the girl you're looking to fuck and smash.
Yeah, I just want to get my dick wet. Anyways, let's order food.
Split some fries. I'm looking to get the piece wet.
Yeah, I'm looking to get the piece wet. I forgot my wallet. Are you cool to get this?
Looking to get the piece wet. You want to split some fries? So anyways, there's a bunch of this stuff. Prioritize your mental health. Go to therapy. Like, okay, these are some hot tips.
Yeah.
So these are the hot tips that the girls have for men because their standards are inaccurately high. This is,
if you're getting dating advice from lifehacker.com.
You know what it is from an economics principle perspective? It's the equivalent of having $100 and you're like showing up to buy a shirt and you're like, hey, I have $100, but I have tastes that get you $130. So like, I have some advice for how to lower your prices.
Totally. Can you let's see your bills and stuff. Let's see if we can get your overheads down here so I can get a better price. And you go, what?
Yeah, you go, yeah. I or it's kind of or like sort of the flip of that is like, like, listen, I have $1,000. And I know that when you're buying, what's a good item? What's the item they always use in economics? Widgets. Yeah. Widgets. I'm looking to buy 50 widgets at price, but like I got more of an appetite for 250 widgets.
Yeah. So, you think we could work something out? I go, no.
And you go, well, this is how much the widgets are going for because that's how the market works and that's what people are willing to pay for them. And you go, but the thing is with that market, you can't even say that's where they get involved and say, hey, the government, let's get involved and, change the price of widgets and subsidize them. You know what I mean? But It's like, you can't subsidize the quantity of men.
No.
There's 50-50 people. That's the way the world works. Although there's actually more girls now.
There's more girls. It's like,
you know what?
But it's like 50.4 or something.
But the amount of people that are becoming trans might be skewing the numbers a little bit to make a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Think about that. If 1% of
to
men...
make more guys? No, more
if
girls.
If 1% of men become women, now it's...
well, I guess it'd be 1%.
Now you got more women.
Yeah.
Now you got more
But I don't know if
women.
those are necessarily in the total sum of all available women because that's a pretty niche...
Well, let's say you don't count the women, but you just count the guys gone.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah, it's tough out there.
Well,
lower your standards. There's never been better advice for people who are having trouble with love. No, trouble. The people who are having trouble. You're like, I can't find anybody. I can't find somebody. I'm getting older. I can't just lower your standards. But it's the easiest solution.
See, lowering your standards sounds negative because it is. And
It's just real. It's
but like
realistic.
evaluate yourself and have that standard.
Yes, and
like, that's
obviously
actually
nobody.
like, you know what I mean? You go,
Yeah.
Be honest about what you're worth.
Which is hard. Like most people are like see themselves as higher than they are, which is I think natural.
Yeah.
But in this sense, you're like that actually hurts you.
Well, that's
if you
why
continue doing
there's
that.
a little trickery involved. A girl needs to soup it up to show that she's actually present herself as a little better than she is.
Yeah,
and the
makeup.
guy presents himself as a little better than she is. And then that's how it works.
Yeah. Again.
So you go, I've got a little girl that's actually at my
if
standard.
she's exactly. If she's good at the deception
Well, guys,
and you're good at the deception, then you're 2 sixes
everyone's
who
doing a
think
little
they're sevens.
deception.
Yeah, it's 2 sixes who think they're sevens.
And as long as they can trick
and
each
and
other.
then they're both happy. It's like that deal where you go, you're both like kind of a little mad, but both a little happy.
As long as you can trick each other, you're set.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I got fucking actually a lot of stuff to talk about on the Patreon this week, but
Woo, doggy.
so we're gonna keep going on the Patreon, and we got so I've got a actually pretty good amount of stuff to talk about. If you haven't joined already, patreon.com/theboyscast, $5. Now there's like 100 episodes up there. We do one
so
every
much
week.
shit. We're doing adding these bonus episodes.
We just
on the
we just did.
road.
Oh yeah, right. We just like on the road. We just like set up some labs and did one on the car, like of just talking shit for 45 minutes because we've been touring a lot. I will be in Edmonton. When's your show in Toronto?
Toronto. If you're listening to this is Friday afternoon tonight in Toronto, 8 p.m. at the Paradise Theater. There's still some tickets.
You're going to be
available.
in Toronto. I'm going to be in Edmonton, and then after that, Jacksonville, Miami, San Jose, Tacoma. I also have a show in Toronto. We got Los Angeles, Cincinnati, Columbus, Plano. I put some vlogs from the tour up at youtube.com/Ryan Long Premium. And yeah, so that's all. Thank you for listening.
Peace.
The boys,
The BOYSCAST.
the lads,
The BOYSCAST.
the dudes.
Prepare yourself.